In today's video, we're going to be exploring the 13 signs that you should end your relationship. And for more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. The first thing you've got to ask yourself is, what is the cost of being in this relationship? If the cost is your dignity, your sanity, your self-respect, your individuality, and your peace of mind and health, it's time to consider letting this relationship go. But here are 13 signs that you should really be thinking about ending your relationship. First things first is if your relationship is full of what we call the Four Horsemen. So the Four Horsemen is a world-renowned phenomenon that was explored inside the Gottman Institute. And it looks at a relationship that is full of criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. What that means, criticism, you're experiencing that you're just critical of each other all the time. The conversations are either one-way critical or critical both ways, but there's just negative, critical conversation happening. Next part is that conversation is full of contempt. Contempt is when you just have like digs and it's nasty. The conversations have an edge to it. That is then met with defensiveness. Defensiveness is where people aren't absorbing what is being said and they're just coming back with defenses about their behavior and they're not willing to take responsibility. And the last part is stonewalling. Stonewalling is when we just withdraw and we don't explain and we don't come back to actually work with repair attempts. So that's the first sign, is really seeing if your relationship has those four elements in it. It's a sign that you should start to think about letting go. The next sign is you arguing repetitively over the same things over and over again. What that means is you have these perpetual, long-winded arguments and it just never ends. The next sign is if you're being labeled as too sensitive, too emotional, or too needy whenever you ask for your needs to be met. What that means is that your bids for connection are met with accusations of you attacking them or not accepting them. So rather than actually hearing what you're saying and the content being studied and looked at, they're constantly on the defensive and unwilling to hear what your needs are that need meeting. The next sign is you're tired, all right? If you're tired and you just say to the person, look, I'm so tired, and that person basically invalidates that you're so tired and there's something wrong with you that you're so tired, and you're so tired, well, I'm the one that's actually tired. What that means is that there's this surge of negative emotion inside the relationship and there's almost a competition. And your emotion is being met by logic and it's being met with, well, you're tired, I'm tired. This is not a good sign, okay? It means that compassion and empathy is out the relationship. And what is entered is competition of whose emotions actually trump in the relationship. Next sign is that you're spending time with them and it feels like there's just this surge of negative emotion and stress, either guilt or shame or anger. This is what we call negative sentiment override. It's when, in general, when you think about the relationship, you just think everything is negative. When that starts to happen, that's a real sign that you should think about letting go of this relationship. The next sign is that your stated needs and boundaries are repetitively being ignored. And even if they know that what they're doing hurts you, they just keep ignoring you. And whatever it is that you say that they need, they keep ignoring that. Again, that's not a good sign. Another sign is that you're crying your eyes out and they just roll over and go to sleep, showing no empathy. By this stage, it's a really chronic stage within the relationship, and that level of contempt and resentment has really entered. Very difficult to come back from that. The next sign is that there's been broken promises consistently. Every time a promise is made, the promise is broken, and there's consistency in the inability to be able to follow through with something. The next sign is you just simply don't trust them for whatever reason. Maybe something has happened in the relationship and you haven't actually recovered from that, whether it be emotional infidelity or financial infidelity, or something's happened where you don't trust their word anymore. Trust is a vital component for a successful relationship. And if trust has left the building, that's a sign to look at whether this relationship has run its course. The next sign is that they never apologize or take accountability for their actions. You somehow always caused their behavior. Not a good sign. The next sign is hanging on to their narrative and unwilling to see your point of view. If someone is just being really positional and unwilling to see your side of the story or how you see the situation, the more you state your position, they are countering with their position. This is called a deadlock. When this deadlock happens and nobody can actually dialogue about what's happened, not a great sign. The next sign is that your body is sending you signals that you just don't like being with them physically and you just don't feel safe to be with them anymore. If a combination of these signs is present within your relationship, unfortunately, it's a sign ultimately that you need to think about ending this relationship. And as I said right from the start, if the cost of being in this relationship is your dignity, your sanity, your self-respect, your individuality, your peace of mind, or your health, let them go. If you want advice in terms of evaluating your relationship or having an assessment whether your relationship should go for marriage counseling or go through divorce, be sure to contact us on our website and we'll do an evaluation for you. Take care.